Imagine two people, same age, same job, same salary. One of them, 10 years from now, is stressed about rent. The other one owns a home, has money in the market, and could quit their job tomorrow if they wanted to. Same starting point, completely different outcomes. Now here's the question that should be keeping you up at night. What was the difference? It wasn't a lucky investment. It wasn't crypto. It wasn't a side hustle that blew up on social media. It was one habit. A single, boring, almost invisible habit that most people overlook completely because it doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't make a great Instagram post. There's no dramatic moment where you feel rich. But compounded over time, it outperforms almost every other financial move you could make. And the wild thing is, most people are doing the opposite of this habit right now without even realizing it. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand why this one habit is the actual foundation of every wealthy person's financial life and exactly how to start using it today. Let's talk about how most people think about getting ahead financially. If you ask the average person what they should do to build wealth, they'll tell you something like, get a better job, make more money, find a good investment, or cut out your daily coffee. And look, none of those things are wrong exactly, but they're all focused on one thing, the inputs, the income, the big moves. Here's what nobody tells you though. Most people who earn more money don't actually end up wealthier, they just spend more. There's actually a term for this in behavioral economics. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it works like this. Every time your income goes up, your expenses quietly creep up right alongside it. A bigger salary turns into a bigger apartment. A bonus turns into a nicer car. A promotion turns into more dinners out, better vacations, upgraded everything. And at the end of the month, after all that upgrading, you're saving the same percentage of nothing that you were before. Think about people who win the lottery. You'd think winning millions would set someone up for life, right? But study after study shows that a huge percentage of lottery winners end up broke within a few years, not because money is cursed, but because they never built the foundational habit that turns money into more money. And this is the trap that catches almost everyone. We focus all our energy on earning more without ever fixing the habit that determines what happens to money after it arrives. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. You can keep turning the tap up, but until you close the drain, the water never actually builds up. So what's the drain? What's the real reason people keep running in place financially, no matter how much they earn? It comes down to one deeply wired psychological pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the pattern. Most people spend first and save whatever's left over. Read that again. Spend first, save whatever's left. And the problem is, nothing is ever left. Human psychology almost guarantees that money is available to spend. We will find a way to spend it. It doesn't matter how disciplined you think you are. It doesn't matter how many budgeting apps you've downloaded. When money is sitting in your checking account, your brain treats it like permission. It whispers, you can afford this. You've had a long week. You deserve it. You'll save more next month. And next month comes, and the same thing happens. This is not a willpower problem. This is a design problem. And the one habit that changes everything, the one that outperforms every other financial strategy, is simply this. Pay yourself first. That's it. That's the habit. Before you pay your rent, before you pay your phone bill, before you buy groceries or gas or anything else, you automatically move a set percentage of your income into savings or investments the moment it hits your account. You treat your future self like your most important bill, and you pay that bill first. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds simple, almost too simple. But here's the thing about simple. Simple and easy are not the same thing. And simple combined with consistency, that's where the magic actually lives. Let me show you exactly why this works so well. Think about how a traditional budget works. You get paid, you look at your expenses, you tell yourself you'll save whatever's left at the end of the month, but your expenses always seem to expand to fill your entire paycheck, don't they? Parking tickets appear, friends have birthday dinners, your phone needs fixing, life happens, and saving becomes the thing you'll definitely start doing next month. Now flip that entire model around. You get paid before anything else 10% or 15% or 20%, whatever percentage you've committed to, automatically moves out of your checking account into a savings account or investment account. Gone, invisible. Now you look at what's left, and here's the beautiful psychological trick. Your brain recalibrates. Psychologists call this mental accounting. We don't actually experience money in absolute terms, we experience it relative to what we think we have available. So if you've always had $2,000 in your account at the beginning of the month, that feels normal. But if you automatically move $300 out first, and now you have $1,700, your brain recalibrates. $1,700 becomes the new normal, and you live within that. This is sometimes called the pay yourself first principle, or in investing circles, it shows up as automated contributions to retirement accounts. But it's so much bigger than retirement savings. It's a complete rewiring of how you relate to money. Let me give you a really simple example to make this concrete. Meet Alex. Alex earns $3,000 a month. For years, Alex tried to budget, made spreadsheets, downloaded apps, tried the envelope system, but every month, somehow, the money was always almost gone by the end. Then Alex started paying himself first. He set up an automatic transfer the day after payday. $300 automatically moved into a separate investment account. He didn't touch it. He didn't see it in his daily banking. It just quietly disappeared. At first, it felt tight. He had to skip a few things, but within 3 months, he'd completely adjusted. His brain recalibrated to the $2,700 he had available, and he stopped noticing the missing $300. Fast forward 5 years, Alex has contributed $300 for 60 months. That's $18,000 he actually saved, which he never would have saved before. But because that money was sitting in an investment account the whole time, growing at an average return, it's now worth significantly more than that. That's not a financial trick. That's just what happens when you stop leaving saving to chance and start making it automatic. Now here's where the psychology gets even more interesting. There's a concept called decision fatigue. Every choice you make throughout the day slightly drains your mental energy, and financial choices are some of the most draining ones. Do I save this? Do I spend it? Can I afford this? Should I be saving more? When saving is automatic, you eliminate that decision entirely. You're not relying on willpower at the end of the month when your mental energy is lowest. You're not negotiating with yourself. The decision was made once up front, and then it just happens on its own every single month. This is why behavioral economists have found that automatic enrollment in retirement plans dramatically increases savings rates. When people have to opt in, most don't. When they're automatically enrolled and have to opt out, most stay in. The default setting wins almost every time. Pay yourself first is simply making wealth building the default. Now let's go a level deeper, because this habit does something even more powerful than just accumulating savings. It changes your identity. This sounds almost philosophical, but stay with me because it's actually the most practical thing I'm going to say in this entire video. When you save after spending, you're living with a saver's good intentions, but a spender's behavior. And over time, your behavior becomes your identity. You start to believe on a deep level that you're just not good with money, that saving is hard for you, that you'll always struggle. But when you pay yourself first, when saving is the first thing that happens before any spending decisions are made, you become a saver. Not because you're more disciplined, but because your behavior reflects it. Every month you saved, every month without fail. And this matters enormously because our financial decisions are driven more by our self-image than most people realize. Researchers have found that people who identify as savers are dramatically more likely to make good financial decisions in 100 different situations throughout their day, not because they try harder, but because they're just acting in line with who they believe they are. When someone offers you an impulse buy, a saver thinks, that's not really something I do. A person who struggles to save thinks, I want to, but I just can't resist. Same external situation, completely different internal response. Pay yourself first doesn't just move money, it slowly rewires how you think of yourself as a financial person. There's another layer here that most people never talk about. When you pay yourself first, you're not just saving money, you're buying time. Think about what financial independence actually means. It means your investments are generating enough money that you don't have to trade your time for a paycheck anymore. Every dollar you invest is a tiny soldier going out to work for you, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without a salary, without sick days, without needing a coffee break. The more soldiers you deploy, the faster they multiply. And here's the thing, you can only deploy those soldiers from money you've saved first. Every month you delay is a month your soldiers aren't working. Every dollar you spend on something forgettable is a soldier you never sent out. Now, compound interest, which is just the process of your money earning returns on its returns, is often called the eighth wonder of the world. And the reason it works so powerfully is time, not income, not investment strategy, time. A 25-year-old who invests consistently for 10 years and then stops will almost always end up with more money at retirement than a 35-year-old who invests the same amount for 30 years, because those early years of compounding are so disproportionately valuable. Pay yourself first is how you make sure you actually use those early years instead of letting them slip by while you're waiting until you feel ready to start saving. Here's a metaphor I want you to hold on to. Imagine you're a farmer, and every harvest, after you sell your crops and pay all your costs, you have some grain left over. Now you could eat all of that grain, every bit of it, enjoy a great season. Or you could keep some of it, set it aside before anything else, and plant it in the ground as seeds for next year's harvest. Most people eat all the grain. They spend everything that comes in. Next harvest, they start from zero again. Season after season, same cycle. The farmer who pays himself first, who plants seeds before spending, starts next harvest with a head start, and the harvest after that is even bigger, and after that, bigger still. That's compound growth, and pay yourself first is how you make sure the seeds actually get planted. Let me talk about one more psychological barrier because it's real and it's important. A lot of people hear, pay yourself first, and their immediate reaction is, I don't make enough money to save anything. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. There's literally nothing left to save. And I want to address this honestly, because that feeling is real and it's valid. But here's what the research actually shows. Studies on savings behavior have found something fascinating. The percentage of income saved is far more predictable based on habits and systems than on income level. In other words, people who save tend to save across different income levels, and people who don't save tend not to save even when their income rises. This is because saving is a behavior, not a math problem. If you truly cannot save 10% right now, start with 1%. 1% of your income. That's barely noticeable. But what you're doing is building the habit, building the system, building the identity. When your income grows, even a little, you bump it to 2%, then 3%. The amount you start with matters far less than the act of starting. James Clear, who wrote the book on habits, talks about how systems beat goals every single time. A goal of saving $50,000 does you no good. A system where 2% of every paycheck automatically moves into savings before you see it compounds into $50,000 whether you're thinking about it or not. So here's exactly what to do, not someday, this week. The first step is to decide on a percentage, not an amount, a percentage. Amounts feel arbitrary. Percentages scale with your income automatically. Start with whatever you can, even if it's just 1 or 2%. The goal right now is to make the habit unbreakable. The second step is to automate it. Go into your bank or your payroll settings and set up an automatic transfer. The transfer should happen on the same day as your paycheck or as close to it as possible. The money should move before your brain even registering it arriving. If your employer offers a retirement account with automatic contributions, use that. This is the most powerful version of pay yourself first because the money comes out before it even lands in your bank account. It's like it never existed in your spending world. The third step is to keep the saved money somewhere separate, not in the same checking account where you do your spending. Out of sight, out of mind. A high-yield savings account, an investment account, a retirement account, somewhere that has just enough friction that you won't casually dip into it. The fourth step, and this is the one that separates people who stay committed from people who fall off, is to schedule a once-a-year review. Once a year, sit down and bump your savings rate up by 1%, just one. Your lifestyle will barely notice, but over a decade, that incremental increase builds a savings habit that most people will never achieve, even if they earn twice what you earn. That's the whole system. 4 steps, no spreadsheet required, no willpower required, just a setup that runs on autopilot and a commitment to leave it alone. Now, one thing that tends to trip people up at this stage is the fear of not having enough for emergencies. What if I automate savings and then something unexpected comes up? This is a real concern, and here's how to think about it. Your very first savings goal before investing, before anything else, is your emergency fund. This is 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses sitting in a liquid account you can access if life throws you a curveball. The pay yourself first system applies to building this emergency fund too. You automate that first. Once it's funded, you redirect those automated contributions toward investments. The emergency fund is your financial immune system. It's what stops a bad month from becoming a financial catastrophe. And once you have it, you'll notice something strange happens. A lot of situations that would have used to feel like emergencies start feeling like inconveniences instead, because you have a buffer. And that buffer does something no investment can quite replicate. It gives you peace of mind. Let's also talk about where to put the money once you've got the habit running, because this is where a lot of people overthink things and end up doing nothing. The honest truth is that the best investment account is the one you actually use. If your employer offers a 401k or similar retirement plan with a company match, start there. A company match is literally free money. It's an instant 100% return on your contribution up to the matched amount. There is no investment in the world that beats that. Once you've captured any available match, a Roth IRA is a popular next step for a lot of people under a certain income level. You invest after-tax dollars and the growth is tax-free when you withdraw it in retirement. After that, a standard investment account in simple, low-cost index funds is where most long-term wealth is quietly built. But here's the key thing. Don't get so tangled up in picking the perfect account or the perfect investment that you never actually start. The cost of doing nothing is almost always higher than the cost of doing something imperfect. Start simple, automate the habit, then learn and optimize as you go. Let me leave you with this. We live in a culture that is extraordinarily good at convincing you to spend. Every app, every advertisement, every social feed is designed by very smart people specifically to separate you from your money. Convenience is engineered, friction is removed, one click and it's bought, one tap and it's delivered. Against all of that, willpower is essentially useless. You cannot out-discipline a system that's been perfectly optimized to defeat you. But you can design a counter system. A system that moves toward wealth automatically, invisibly, before any of those spending decisions even have a chance to compete. Pay yourself first is not a budgeting tip, it's not a hack, it's a fundamental shift in how you position yourself in relation to your money. Every person who built real wealth, not overnight, but over time, steadily and sustainably, built it through consistency, through a system that kept working even in months when motivation disappeared. Even in seasons when life got hard, even when the stock market went sideways and the news was terrifying and everything felt uncertain, the habit kept running, the seeds kept being planted, and the harvest kept growing. You don't need a higher salary to start. You don't need to understand the stock market. You don't need a financial advisor or a special account. You need to pay yourself first, today, this week, with whatever you have. because the version of you that is financially free, the one who could quit tomorrow if they wanted, the one who doesn't feel sick every time an unexpected bill shows up, the one who can actually sleep at night, that person didn't get there with one big decision. They got there with one small decision, repeated automatically, month after month after month. That decision is available to you right now. The question is whether you'll make it before another month slips by. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more simple strategies about money, investing, and building wealth, make sure to subscribe to the channel. New videos are posted every week to help you understand money in the simplest way possible. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and share it with someone who wants to improve their financial future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.